Hey everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the TGIF version of Today in Sports Betting. We're doing it NFL style, baby. And I know, Scott, you're excited. This is the last show you do before heading out of town for the weekend on the on it's one of the I really like the sound of this. You're just going to a hotel and you're going to sit in the hotel room with your buddy and bet sports and play poker, right?
Pretty much.
Man, that is a guy's weekend right there.
It's the perks of legal sports betting, being, I know, about an hour away.
Where are you going to stay?
Some random hotel, cheapest hotel possible.
Oh, you're not going to like do it with room service and all that stuff?
No, we're gonna bring some festivities, just to help celebrate, if you know what I mean. But for the most part, yeah, we got to make sure we're properly hydrated. That's how I'll phrase it.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna be mostly just betting on sports, hanging out. Gonna be a fun time.
You're not hitting one of those legal weed states, are you?
No, New Jersey, I don't believe has that. But as far as I know, if you're over the age of 21, vodka usually works pretty well. So that's kind of what we're gonna be doing. But we'll see what happens.
All right, very good. Yeah, you got legal weed in New York, don't you?
I don't believe so. If it is,
No?
it's like preliminary. But no, it's definitely not legal statewide.
Okay, all right.
Maybe in a couple of years, but not right now.
My bad. We opened dispensaries here this week in Missouri of all places. So
I kind of I can't say I'm a big weed guy, but if they're all knows that New York doesn't have it, it would be a lot cooler if they did. But no, they don't have it here, as far as I know.
yeah, it was incredible. They showed this with the big long line of people waiting to spend like way too much money for weed.
I spend my money on parlays. No, but you got to pick and choose.
That's right. All right, my friend, let's get rolling here with the NFL. Let's see if we can get this done quick.
Before we actually go through all that, I do have some extra time. Do we want to bother breaking down what happened yesterday, or are we just blocking that from our memories? I was profitable. I won my play of the day. I had some personal money and some other stuff that all won. Where do we even start if we want to break it down? Is it even worth our time?
I don't think anything in the NFC East is worth any of my time.
That's fair.
That was a horrific game played by two horrific teams.
Tremendously entertaining for all the wrong reasons, but it
really was. We had the under as one of our premium plays, the under 45, and
looked sweat free for about 3.5 quarters.
It really was. I mean, I really thought we're at 17, midway through the third quarter. I'm like, yeah, we're you never want to tap dance too early, but I felt pretty confident going forward, and I know the live numbers were down like 34.5, 35, and like, okay, we're good shape here. And then it all came down to Doug Peterson doing Doug Peterson things, going for two the first time, didn't make it. Going for two the second time, didn't make it. That put us 2 points short. Now, Scott, I'm no math wizard, but I'm pretty sure if he'd just kicked the extra point there, he would have had that much coveted 3-point lead at the end of the game. And
you were also fortunate, though, because didn't they also go for it on like 4th and goal at the 2 and they threw a fade route to the backup tight end?
Oh, yeah, that was beautiful, too. Yeah, that was
I didn't know what they were doing in the red zone. I had the over 2.5 touchdowns for Philly, so I almost wanted to break my television. But they got there, and that's all that matters. But I know I know that they beat the Giants. Congratulations. I'm sure they're having, parades in Philadelphia. They have to go into the offseason and think to themselves, Peterson should not be able to call plays. This is just awful.
And supposedly that's his deal. That's supposedly his forte. Is he's the offensive
mind. When they won the Super Bowl, Frank Reich did all the play calling, and then he ended up going to the Colts.
Well, but Peterson called all the plays with Kansas City before he went.
Yeah, I'm saying with Philly. So even though you can say, well, he won a Super Bowl, whatever. I think Frank Reich had a little something to do with that. You know what I mean?
Although, he's turned into a trash play caller up in Indianapolis. So
he's okay. They're just going 5 wide with Phillip Rivers for no reason at all, behind one of the best offensive lines in the league. I know why he just wouldn't run the ball like 20-something times with Jonathan Taylor, but
well, if we're going to bitch about last night's game, I'm going to bitch about that college game.
You can roast anything you want. This is kind of just what's the term? This is an open space.
Yeah, it's a safe space.
Safe space. That's what I'm looking for. Sorry, open space.
Yeah, we had the over in the Arkansas State Appalachian State game, and you and I were both on the right side of Appalachian State there. They did.
I had the Appalachian team total also.
So we did absolutely roll them up there. However, Arkansas State had the ball first and goal from the inside the 1 in a play that might have actually been a touchdown if they'd have gone back and looked at it. I think you could make a pretty good case for that ball was across the imaginary goal line there before he actually was out of bounds. But they didn't. They were running pace. They wanted to hurry up and run. Which one did they screw up there, Scott? Was that
they ran the read option first, which lost like 2 yards.
Yeah.
Then they tried the quarterback roll around play where he lost like 7 yards.
Yeah.
Then the quarterback almost got decapitated on third down. He threw the ball away.
And that was nothing compared to –
and they missed the field goal.
Yeah, that was nothing compared to the next time when they had the ball at the 6 and decided to run some kind of funky double reverse thing and ended up getting tackled at the 23.
You had that. You also had the fake punt, the reverse fake punt, which lost about 15 yards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was actually good, though, because
I know it gave you good position for Appalachian to score, but
yeah, I was fine with that.
I kind of just meant the play calling all around for Arkansas State was pretty underwhelming.
Just.
And I like Blake Anderson as a coach, but that was not one of his better coach games. At no point was Appalachian even a sweat. They kind of took a nap in the third quarter, and then you had the long 60-yard touchdown by Thomas, and you're going, all right, this game's over.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy game to pick a side on. But the total kind of got us there.
Just because Arkansas State can score doesn't mean they're that good at football, and they are not that good at football.
No, they've struggled with the defense all year long, and
the defense is a given. I'm just saying people are going, oh, the record is pretty good. At the end of the day, you got to get stops.
Well, I'll tell you what surprised me there, Scott, was this is an Appalachian State team that had not been sacking the quarterback at all. They'd had I think 2 sacks over 4 games.
They were good defensively. They got off the quarterback a lot.
Yeah.
But even besides the quarterback stuff, they were just good in coverage, stopped the run, worked pretty well. The thing that you have to wonder, which is why Appalachian was favored by so much, year in, year out, they're always the class of the Sun Belt.
Yep.
Every year.
Yep. And everybody was freaking out because they'd, played a couple of tight games.
Oh my God, they almost lost to Charlotte. Yeah, but they won.
Yeah, well, and they did ended up losing to Marshall.
They lost to Marshall, who's undefeated, and are they ranked, Marshall? They should be.
I think they certainly should be.
They're a good team, Marshall. And they was in Marshall with Marshall's fans. I remember liking Marshall. I think I had a sprinkle on Marshall money line that game. It was just a matter of people are going, "Oh, Appalachian's really good." I'm thinking, you don't know how good this Marshall team is.
No, we were both all over Marshall there. That was
that's the point, though. Is that they started off okay. At the end of the day, when they go into conference play, they always just lay the wood every time.
Yeah, Marshall's ranked 22nd.
They're a good team.
I knew they had to be. Yeah, no question about it. So all right, let's take a look at the NFL.
Back to the NFL. Sorry about
that. We're gonna go through all how many games we've got here, and I know you've got a line on the Raiders. We'll talk about that a little bit when we get to it. By the way, just on a personal note, apropos of nothing, I hate that UMass played 1 game because now when you go through the rankings, whatever team you want to make a point like they're really terrible, UMass is below them.
Fun fact, though, they might extend their schedule to 4 games.
Oh, are they getting some nibbles on teams that want to play them?
Potentially. Well, if I had a team, I'd want to nibble at UMass also for a confidence boost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that phone would never stop ringing.
So, yeah, you might end up getting a few more fade UMass chances in your back pocket.
Excellent. All right, let's take a look at the AFC North Division, Scott, as the Cleveland Browns travel to the city of Skyline Chili. You ever had Skyline Chili, Scott, in Cincinnati?
Something like that. I can't say that I've ever considered going there, so I'll take your word for it.
Awful. It's sweet. They put cinnamon. It's trash. It's what and they love it. They love it there. So right away, Cincinnati's a bad town.
Wait, I'm a little bit confused. What place are you talking about?
Cincinnati, Skyline Chili.
You're telling me it smells like cinnamon?
No, they put cinnamon in it. They put cinnamon in it, and they make some kind of special formula. They serve it over spaghetti. It's a whole thing. Skyline Chili. Yeah, it's not.
I never heard of that in my life. That is really weird.
Oh yeah. In fact, you can buy it. You can buy cans of it. You can probably find it in the shelves there in New York.
The 2 things that cinnamon applies for me are apple pie and if you go to Cinnabon at the mall.
That's about
basically it.
Put it on a little toast every once in a while. That's really about all the cinnamon's good.
So you go Cinnabon and apple pie, and that's pretty much all you need cinnamon for.
Cinnamon toast. I'll go with cinnamon toast.
Okay, that works too.
All right, yeah, not chili. No, not
Cinnabon, cinnamon toast, bread.
So the Cincinnati Bengals are pretty much the Skyline Chili of football teams right now. They are 3-point underdogs to the Cleveland Browns, Scott.
Do you find the line questionable?
What's that?
I don't get this line.
You think the Browns should be favored by more?
Yeah. They played the first time. I know Cleveland won by 5, but it took a long garbage time touchdown drive by Joe Burrow in the first meeting. Plus, Joe Mixon hasn't practiced all week. I don't know if he's going to play. I think he will, but he hasn't practiced all week. And Cincinnati isn't good. They blew a 21-point lead in roughly 7 minutes. It was kind of impressive against the Colts. But I know Cleveland got killed by Pittsburgh, so people are low on Cleveland, especially Baker Mayfield. Do people forget that Pittsburgh's undefeated? And they were in Heinz Field, and Cleveland hasn't won in Heinz Field since, I don't know, Vietnam? Like they haven't won in Heinz Field in like 20-something years, or it feels that way. Like, yeah. I'm not going to overreact to that. They're playing the Bengals. I think Cleveland should get back on track.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot. I think this is a good spot for the Browns. They matched up with them well last time. Like you said, it did take a long drive there where they scored the touchdown.
Fourth down conversion, stuff like that.
They gave us the backdoor cover with about, I think, 35, 40 seconds left.
I know we both leaned to the Bengals in that game, but they got killed the entire game.
It was not a no sweat victory. We had no business really being close in that one.
Yep.
Getting the backdoor cover. So yeah, I'm
winning Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Let's take the Browns. I think Burrow's going to be a good quarterback, but
I think Cleveland's still a playoff team. They might not be, of course, anything better than mediocre, but the extra playoff spot and the fact that the Patriots are struggling and some other teams are kind of hitting a wall right now, they should make the playoffs. So
they win 4 straight, lose to one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the AFC, and everybody's off their bandwagon. So, I think
2 losses have come against the Ravens and the Steelers, and both of those teams have lost a combined 1 game, and it was the Kansas City. So I don't think that's really that bad.
You can take this is a time when you can use recency bias to your favor.
I think you can, because I think people are just going to fade the Browns on what they saw over the weekend, when in reality, Cincinnati looked good for a quarter and a half and then fell apart.
The defense is awful.
They're terrible, and their offensive line stinks as well. So it's not like anything changes.
Yeah, that's the problem, is the defense is going to leave you in too many big holes for Burrow.
Yeah, Myles Garrett will come around the edge, have a strip sack, something like that. They're not going to stop him.
I agree. Speaking of another trash division, it's the Dallas Cowboys and the football team of Washington, Scott. Man, that was hopefully it will be every bit as good as that game was last night. Who do you like here?
The bar's been set pretty high, so I don't know about that one.
Cowboys -1, 44.5.
I don't know where I even want to start leaning to this game.
Both of these teams have dreadful. Maybe over.
That's where I was thinking. I mean, I know that Arizona's defense is decent, yet Chandler Jones out. I mean, the offense did nothing at home in a dome, which is pathetic. But, I guess.
You say Arizona?
No, yeah, I'm on Monday night. Dallas' offense did nothing against Arizona.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm saying, based on what I saw lately, I want to take the over. The Cowboys' offense looked completely broken. I guess I'm going to lean to Dallas. I guess.
Okay.
Washington lost to the Giants. So you set the bar pretty low there. I don't know. I guess I'm going to lean to Dallas because at the end of the day, they still have the weapons. And even though the defense stinks, I don't think Washington's offense is any good.
No.
So I guess slight lean to the Cowboys, but I'm not happy about it. I'll lean over.
A lot of times I have to be careful about the plays that I take because I'm worried about it, having a premium on this game.
I'm supposed
This ain't one of them. I'll talk about this game for all day long.
All I know is that for the over-under of 45, and the Cowboys are allowing roughly 38 points per game,
yeah,
you're kind of obligated to take the over. So I'm going to lean to the over on that one.
Yeah, I think that's the play. Lions and Falcons. Oh my! A lot of tight spreads this week, by the way, Scott.
It's amazing because most of the tight spreads involves 2 really bad teams.
Falcons -1 over the Lions.
I see mostly -2, -2.5. So the line has climbed a little bit.
Yeah, I got a seriously juiced one at -125. So that's certainly headed in that direction.
Both teams actually looked pretty good last week. Now Detroit played Jacksonville, which doesn't really count, and Atlanta played Minnesota, which doesn't really count. So just to factor everything in, I'm going to lean to Atlanta. They switched coaches. They're trying to do something.
Right.
Whatever. Julio Jones is healthy again. He was great in his first game back. At the end of the day, the Lions beat the Jaguars, but I can only handle so much Matt Patricia. So I'm going to lean to Atlanta. I think they'll look good at home. This team, if they didn't blow so many double-digit leads, might arguably have a winning record right now. So I'm going to lean to Atlanta because I think that they're better than the record indicates. I just don't think Detroit's very good.
I think the Lions can do enough against this bad Falcons defense to get that total over.
The truth is, I don't know, because Atlanta's defense looked pretty good for a half. That was against Kirk Cousins, and they played prevent the entire second half.
Mm-hmm.
The defense looked good for a half. And Kirk Cousins is bad. I'm aware of that, but it's not like Stafford has had a great year.
Yeah.
He's been okay. They're trying to run the ball more, which I find interesting, but I don't know. I'm going to lean to Atlanta in a game that I'm not confident in either, but I'll lean to Atlanta.
Saints-Panthers. Saints -9. 51.5 is.
You see 9 or 7.5?
I got 9. I got 9 and juice to the Panthers.
I see mostly -7.5.
Really?
That's what I see.
Yeah, like I said, I've got +9 for the Panthers at -131.
I'm gonna confirm here, but it looks like BetOnline's offering a alternative line type of situation.
Have you refreshed lately?
For BetOnline?
Yeah. Are you on BetOnline?
No, I'm checking Foxbet right now.
Yeah, I'm on BetOnline.
Let me see. Yeah, I see 7 even at -118.
Good Lord. Shop those lines, kids.
I understand the point of getting pluses in the value, but I don't want to lose 2 points under any circumstances. I'm going to lean to the Saints. Carolina looked pretty bad against Chicago. Saints are off a bye. They haven't looked good, but I think the bye will help. Michael Thomas is taking turns between being injured, punching teammates, and being injured again. So he's probably not going to play. He's turning into the next huge NFL diva after a career year. I'm going to link to the Saints, though. It's in the Superdome. Line 7, Carolina's showed. I think they already peaked, Carolina. So for me, I'll go with New Orleans.
All right.
Sean Payton off the bye. I can't really turn that down.
And you're gonna lay 7.
I'll lay the 7 with the Saints.
Would you lay 9?
I definitely don't feel that good about it. I like having the key number of 7 because I think that there is a chance they could win by 7.
You might middle that one there, Scott.
I think you might.
Little arbitrage right there at +9, and this is, like I said, it's juice to the Panthers. We may see 9.5 on BetOnline. That's stunning to me. You don't see that kind of split on an NFL.
Well, if it's juice to the Panthers, then it would drop to
8.5.
If it was juice to the Panthers,
I'm sorry. Yeah, going the other way. You're right. Yeah, so it is going that way. So
I'm going to link to the Saints -7 though. It's in the Superdome, week off. Carolina looked awful last week. Sure.
I'll take the Panthers +9. See if we can both lose.
Okay.
51.5. I'd probably lean towards the under there.
With Breeze throwing 2-yard checkdowns and Teddy Bridgewater throwing 5-yard checkdowns, yeah, sure, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I agree.
Bridgewater's actually been slinging the ball a little bit because Robbie Anderson's had a good year, but I'm hoping that the extra week off can get the Saints a little bit healthier on the defensive end. Maybe Janoris Jenkins can come back, something like that. So we'll see what happens.
Boy, the clock struck midnight on Bridgewater last week, didn't it?
He definitely did not look good.
No, he did not. Man, they just keep coming at us, Scott. Bills and Jets. Bills -12, Jets +12, 46.
I don't care. Just Bills, whatever.
How do you not just auto fade this Jets team?
There's a chance Darnold comes back, which would be a boost for the Jets.
Maybe
if you wanted to lean to an over, that would be a boost for the Jets.
Okay.
Potentially, because Flacco is useless. But Buffalo coming off of 2 pretty embarrassing losses for different reasons. I think Josh Allen will have a big game to bounce back. I think Buffalo's going to put up another 30 points. Jets might score 13. I'll lean to Buffalo.
All right, very good. Packers and Texans, Scott. Much different game than it would have been had last week not happened.
I'm still leaning Green Bay.
Green Bay -3.5 and 50.
I don't know how I can't. Houston can't stop the run. Their defense is terrible. Even though their offense was good last week against Tennessee, I think Green Bay's defense was just awful last week. But overall, I think as a unit, they're not bad. And I think Jair Alexander is a very solid corner in the league. I'm going to go with Green Bay because I still don't think Romeo Crennel is a good coach. I think he might be better than Bill O'Brien, which is setting the bar extremely low.
Mm-hmm.
But I think LaFleur is still pretty good. So I'm going to go with Green Bay.
All right.
In a dome with Rodgers, sure. I'll lean over as well because I think that even though the total's very high, Watson and Rodgers are going to do a bunch of random stuff in the pocket and put up huge numbers.
Especially Rodgers coming off of an embarrassing loss like
Arguably
that.
the worst performance of his career. So,
yeah. I think he wants to make a statement.
Yep.
Battle of the undefeated, Scott. The Tennessee Titans -1 hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a game that's flip-flop.
It's a great game.
Huh?
It's a great game.
It should be. This game is flip-flop. Steelers actually opened up as a 1-point favorite. This has gone the other direction as the Titans are now the 1-point favorite. 50.5 is the total. Scott, this really comes down to whether or not the Steelers can stop Derrick Henry. What do you think?
I think they can, but I actually think the bigger thing is about the Pittsburgh's pass defense, which has been surprisingly underwhelming this season. I know that they ended up shutting down Baker Mayfield and he got benched. As a whole, they've been great against the run, pretty mediocre against the pass. And Ryan Tannehill has been slinging it over the last couple of weeks. For this matchup, I think it's very close, and I think it makes perfect sense. This is basically a 1-point spread. I'm going to lean to Tennessee because I think Vrabel is a better coach than Mike Tomlin. Very controversial opinion because I know Tomlin has a ring. I'm a huge Mike Vrabel guy. I think he is really good, and he seems to be one of the only coaches from the Belichick disciple tree that actually looks like he's going to turn into a very, very good coach. It's him and Flores. But I'm going to lean to Tennessee because I think that this team is really, really good. I think Pittsburgh is too, but I still am more concerned about Roethlisberger's decision-making than Tannehill, so I'm going to lean to Tennessee.
Can we really call Vrabel a Belichick on the Belichick tree? I mean, he never coached for Belichick.
I think you kind of can because he played for Belichick basically his entire career.
Yeah, okay.
Make the argument.
All right. Yeah, okay.
But Vrabel wasn't he wasn't a linebacker coach for New England?
No, I thought he was actually coached for KC.
I thought he did too, but I thought he was with New England first. I'm going to check that, but
all right, because he finished his career with KC, and then I thought he immediately went to.
Never mind. I thought he was. He was not.
Okay. All right. Very good.
I just know that he played for Belichick.
Yeah, forever. For 15 years or whatever. Played for Belichick.
And never mind. I for some reason I thought he was, but okay, never mind.
Very good.
He actually wasn't even a coach for Kansas City.
He didn't coach for KC. Who do you assist a coach for?
He was on the Texans, so he was part of the Bill O'Brien coaching team, which indirectly was disciple of Belichick. So close enough.
Oh yeah. They get the Browns.
Distant cousins, I guess.
I don't think Belichick claims Bill O'Brien anymore, though.
I don't think he does either, but same, background, whatever.
49ers and Patriots. Scott.
Wait, you have a thought on the Steelers game? It's really tough. I think you flip a coin, honestly, but I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's only covered once this year, and
well, the spread's only one, so
yeah, I understand. They're going to have some fans in the crowd. I would probably lean Titans there too. I think it's going to be a good game. I think that's probably going to be the best early game, and I'm sure I'll have no chance of seeing it, so it'll have to be red zone for me. I think these two teams are trending a little bit in different directions, even though they're both undefeated.
I do think Lewan being out for the year is a huge loss for Tennessee, though, on the offensive line, which I think is a big deal. But I also know Devin Bush is a huge loss for Pittsburgh as he tore his ACL. He's out for the year. He's their best linebacker, or their best coverage linebacker, I should say.
Right.
So both teams have recent injuries, some key pieces, but it's really a coin flip. I'll take the home team.
All right. Niners and Patriots. Super Bowl preview, Scott.
The truth is that this line makes no sense, so I feel like New England is kind of the play, but I'm going to take the bait. I'm going to go with the 49ers. New England showed me nothing. This team has no weapons. The defense is very good. I will acknowledge that, but Newton looks a little bit just inconsistent with his accuracy in the pocket. The offensive line doesn't look great. They can't run the ball to save their lives. They have no weapons in the perimeter. Edelman's injured. He has a knee injury. He's playing through, but he's been awful the last 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
I think Belichick will do a good job taking Kittle out of the game, but the 49ers can run the ball. They have a decent receiving core, which is clearly better than New England's. Garoppolo was great last week, or kind of a revenge spot against New England. I don't think that really matters. But 49ers defense was very good last week, and I think that Shanahan is definitely – he's not as good as Belichick, but I think he's a top 10 coach. So it's not like there's a huge, huge drop-off. I'm going to swallow it and take the West Coast team traveling east. I'm going to go with the 49ers, even though I'm not thrilled about it.
All right, I'll fade you there. I'll take the Patriots.
New England seems to be the obvious play here based on the spread after what happened last week, but I don't. Can the Patriots really score? I don't know.
That is certainly the question, and they're going to have to grind it out with defense.
I'll lean under in that game.
44.
I think points should be at a premium there. I think New England might be a blind under team for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's certainly true. They don't
every drive they even score on takes like 8 minutes.
Yeah, nothing comes easy for that team.
Nope.
Chiefs and Broncos, Scott. Chiefs traveling -10, 45.5. That's going to be the lowest number you're going to see on a Chiefs game probably all season long.
I'm going Kansas City. They smack Denver every year.
They got Le'Veon Bell, Scott.
I expect them to timeshare it. I think because Bell doesn't know the playbook, etc. So probably handle the goal line stuff, a couple of handoffs up the middle, but I don't expect him to be that involved, besides maybe in pass protection. But still, it's a nice boost. Definitely helps in the goal line because they didn't have a goal line back. You're a Chiefs fan, so you know this. Denver gets smacked by Kansas City every year.
Indeed.
So I'm going to go with Kansas City. Denver, even though they beat New England, the offense had 6 field goals. Locke was awful. Was he 10 for 24? It was terrible. I'll lean to Kansas City. I think that they're just going to do whatever they want.
This is going to be where weather's going to be a factor here, Scott. It looks like it's going to be a snow game there in Mile High Stadium.
Oh, so Denver's offense is going to look even worse. All right, great.
Yeah, that's that, and I think that's a big part of the reason why this total is so low.
I would take Denver team total under, and I would take the Chiefs -9.5.
We get 27.5 on the Chiefs there.
Could be, but what's the Broncos there? 17.5?
27.5 would be 18. 27.5.
I'll take the under.
9.5. Yeah.
The team can't get into the end zone, and the weather's supposed to be terrible, so it's not like you're going to see them airing it out downfield in the snow. I don't see that happening.
I would consider taking the Chiefs over 27.5 there.
Could be. It's just a matter of Kansas City kills them every year. I'll go with Kansas City.
They do, and they beat them badly in the snow here in Arrowhead last year.
I had the under in the first half, turned into a massive sweat, but I won that.
Yep. Jacksonville and the Chargers. Chargers -9.49 is the total right there, Scott.
I see 7 or 7.5 again. So they're doing the same thing with the Saints that they're doing for the Chargers for Bet Online. I don't really know what they're doing.
So bizarre, Bet Online. They're usually pretty well in line with everybody.
I see 7.5 plus 100 on Fox, which means you could find 7s around if you shop.
I'd probably rather have that because that's who I would lay the Chargers here.
You know what? I'm going to be different. I'll take the Chargers first half.
Okay.
I can't handle Anthony Lynn in the fourth quarter. He's one of the worst fourth quarter coaches I've ever seen.
Doesn't handle the pressure well, does he?
He's awful in the second half every time. He's awful in the last 2 minutes of the first half every time. Jacksonville sucks. I usually say stinks. They suck.
Oh,
they are awful.
Yeah.
I know they beat the Colts week 1 and all whatever, blah. They killed my survivor pool in week 1 because of that, but this team is so bad. Like, oh my God, they're awful. How do you lose at home to Detroit by like 20-something? Come on, man.
They don't do much right, man.
The Chargers are off a bye. They could get healthier, but I do think the bye helps. Even though you probably don't need to prepare for Jacksonville, you had an extra week of preparation, so I think you'll win probably by 14. Jacksonville's going to lose a lot of games by double digits. I think this is one of them.
Yeah, and they travel. I don't like anything about this. Now, before we get to the night game, which has actually been a switch, because the game you're going to talk about was in danger of being postponed, and that is the Raiders and the Tampa Bay Rays as the
Tampa Bay
Buccaneers. Sorry, as the Bucs travel to Vegas to take on the Silver and Black. Scott, tell us why this game isn't on the board right now at most places.
So it's available in some, not others, because the Raiders had a COVID outbreak earlier this week, or not. I don't know if it's fully an outbreak or just a precautionary measure. You had one offensive lineman. Yeah, you had one offensive lineman, Trent Brown, who they paid a boatload of money to a couple of years ago. He had COVID, and as a result, Gruden sent the entire offensive line, because they spent a lot of time with Trent Brown, into basically COVID reserve list territory. Right. So they might not play. They're not practicing all week. You have Incognito is also injured, whatever. But, yeah, you might be without pretty much all of their starting offensive linemen, assuming that they are not cleared on Sunday, which is possible. Plus, you also have starting safety Jonathan Abram, who's very good, who is not going to be playing because he's dealing with COVID as well. So the Raiders might be missing a ton of key pieces, and that's why the line's been pulled, but it's still available on some spots, and that's something to keep in mind moving forward.
Now, if none of these guys test positive, they will be eligible to play on Sunday. Sunday would be the earliest they could play. They have to go 5 days, and then one extra day for the day that they were exposed to the person. So they're exposed on Monday, takes them all the way through. The 5 days takes them up to Sunday. So there's a good chance these guys will play. I'm not sure it makes a difference.
I don't know if it does either. I have a play today on this game, but I feel like I kind of just telegraphed my entire thing.
I will.
Even if everyone was healthy, I'm just going to say it. I would lean to Tampa Bay anyway. They're coming off their best performance of the season. I know they're traveling on the road, and the Raiders beat the Saints or whatever. We got to acknowledge the Saints just aren't that good this year. I know they beat the Buccaneers in Week 1, but Tampa, after an awful showing against Chicago, circled the wagons pretty well. This defense is nasty. The offense is healthy completely, which is a good sign. Mike Evans, Godwin, even Gronk looked great last week. Yeah. Ronald Jones is very good. I got to lean to the Tampa.
All right, good enough. The night game should be an entertaining game out there in what I think is the best division in football.
I commented on Twitter that they should take away the NFC East playoff spot and just give an extra one to the NFC West.
Yeah, there's always one like that every year where
well, it's the same one as last year. Even though Arizona wasn't good last year, they were competitive at times.
Oh yeah, they beat the Niners and the Seahawks there in big spots. And
like the Rams had a down year, they were 9-7.
Right.
Or they 10-6. I don't even remember.
Rams were actually 9-7. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Seahawks Cardinals. Seahawks road team here -3 points at Arizona. 56 is the number there, Scott.
I'm taking Seattle. I know that Arizona's good. I know that they've been clicking lately. It's Seattle off a bye. That's a pretty good spot there. Plus, Arizona's on a short week playing Monday night.
Is that defense ever going to get better, Scott? The Seattle defense?
They might get Jamal Adams back, which should help.
That should help because but you know what? They were awful with
them. They're terrible defensively. They're awful defensively, but
they don't generate a pass rush. They don't do a good job.
You have one team coming off a short week, another team coming off a long extra week off. You can make the argument saying that Seattle's defense isn't very good. I don't think Arizona's going to stop Wilson either. So I'm going to lean to Seattle with the extra time off.
Yeah, well, and that's why this is the highest total of any game on the board at 56.
Yep. What do you think? You think the short week matters in this spot? Because I think it does.
I do. I think it matters versus a bye. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that gives them extra, especially when you can get guys healthy this time of the year.
I know Arizona looked really good last week, and they have shown flashes. The team's been pretty streaky. They beat Andy Dalton.
Right.
Let's just factor that in for a second. They beat
Cowboys defense. Horrific Dallas defense.
Correct. So yes, they looked really good. You can pump the brakes a little bit. Arizona's last 2 games, they've looked really good. Beat the Cowboys and the Jets. We can relax a little bit.
You know what? Just to keep it fresh, I'll go the other side here.
It's very possible. I just think that this spot alone is worth a blind Seattle bet.
All right, I'll fade all available trends and take the Cardinals plus the 3.
All right.
All right, man. Hey, that's it.
Yep.
That's all there is, man. There's no more.
Well, sure, I actually have some extra time on my hands. I don't know if you want to do a college football show anyway. But...
No, I'm good.
Okay, sounds good.
Is there anything you want to touch on tonight? I mean, yeah, I'll go real quick.
No, I was going to say we can do a separate show if you wanted to, but other than that, we don't have to talk about it.
No, I would just throw them in. I like Tulsa.
We've thrown them in a couple times already.
Yeah. Well, you and I are both on that Wisconsin line's going up. I think they get revenge there.
I think that one should probably land on or cross 21.
I forgot I'd seen that quarterback play, Scott. I actually saw him play here in KC. He comes from Blue Valley North.
Mertz, he's good.
Yeah, he ain't mobile.
And most Wisconsin quarterbacks aren't, but he's good.
He ain't gonna run around much. I guess after Russell Wilson, they said, "Well, that's enough of that."
It's not like Jack Cohen had much mobility either.
No, very true. Very true.
Just to look through everything here, mostly leaning to the favorites here. In fact, I think I'm just going with the favorites here. Yeah, Jacksonville State's been okay, but international. I mean, you got an FCS team versus an FBS team. I'll take the FBS team at home. I'll lean to Tulsa because I think Tulsa's good. I think South Florida's game last week, I just think Temple's not that good.
Right.
I'm going to lean to UAB, though, so I will go with one underdog.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Wisconsin.
All right. I've got a premium on the UAB game, so I'm going to pass on that.
I'll go with 3 favorites in UAB.
Okay, good enough. Yeah, I got a premium on the UAB, but I do like the I do like the favorites there, Tulsa and Wisconsin. So
yep,
there's a little bonus for you.
Oh well, that's it.
All right, you ready to go? You packed?
Yeah, I'm basically ready.
I was going to say, I bet that's quite a bag you packed there, huh?
No, not really.
You got one bag for clothes, one bag for liquor.
That's actually exactly what I'm doing. Correct.
All right, Scott, have a great weekend. And the rest of you, I hope you guys all have a great weekend as well. If you're looking for any more information on the NFL, you know where to go, man. winnersandwhiners.com. No place like it on the internet, as they do deep dives into every game every single day. And, yeah.
For the record, by the way, even though I am going to Jersey, and even though I will be hydrated, I will be taking time anyway to still do the Play the Day videos for the next 2 days. So if you are wondering about the Scout selections, even though I'm going to Jersey,
that's
you don't
right.
have to worry about it. I'll still be making the videos.
Rest easy, everybody. Rest easy.
Remain calm. All is well.
All is well.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out to Kevin Bacon from Animal House.
That's a shout out to Kevin Bacon, man.
Yep.
6 degrees of bacon. Bacon. All right. So for myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at winnersandwhiners.com, we hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money. And we'll see you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Have a great day, everybody.